I have just sold 3 cups, 1 cushion and 1 card. Let's make them. This one's really popular, so I actually sold 3 of these. I've got 1 ready to go, but let's make some more. I have to begin by loading my design up on Canva because I've got my templates on there. I download it and then print it on my sublimation printer, and then it's ready to go. So for a mug press, I'm using the Cricut mug press. I think it's amazing. It's really good and it calculates the time for you. I always begin by cutting out my heat tape ready. I use a lot of this on mugs because you have to tape it right to the mug. Otherwise you get a little bit of fogging and it just doesn't look right. So it ends up wasting the mugs. So I've got lots and lots of heat tape to use, and obviously 3 mugs, that's going to take a lot of wrapping. My first ones are ready to cut out. I always leave them to dry for a little bit first. I know that you can sublimate straight away with this paper, but I always leave it to dry just in case. Now I've cut it out using my guillotine and I try and align it so I've got the same gap either side of the handle. I have such OCD with these mug wraps that they take me forever. Tape these bits down and then I tape across the whole of the top and the whole of the bottom. So that is all wrapped. I wrap the whole way around and I try and make it as tight as possible and try and get rid of any air bubbles because I don't like any sort of ghosting on my mugs. I then get my butcher paper and I use two sheets. I fold them in 3, so it sort of gives like 6 layers, I suppose. So it's like this, and when it's all in, it goes like that in the mug press, but it's just preheating. I've put it in my mug press. I think these are minutes, I'm not entirely sure, but it takes roughly like 5 minutes to all sublimate. Then I will wrap my other mugs. There's one more done. So this one is done. Super, super hot, so I'm going to do a hot peel, which basically means peeling off. You can see the steam. Peeling off when it's really hot. A lot of people wear gloves for this. I'm an idiot and I never do. So I burn my fingers all the time. But I love this part. Oh, that looks so nice. And that is what it looks like. I leave it to cool for a tiny bit on my heatproof mat, and then I run it under cold water just to stop it developing anymore. And then I'm going to put my second one in there. So this one is good to go, that's all wrapped, and I will put it in my heat press now. The second one is done. Do that hot peel. Second one. And it's printed. Lovely. That is all 3 mugs done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to print my cushion. So exactly the same process. I go onto my Canva because that is where my templates are, and I'm going to print my design. While that is printing, I'm going to turn on my heat press and get that heated up. You'll hear lots of beeping because it beeps all the time. So I put mine on 392 because mine's on Fahrenheit, and I put it on for 60 seconds for cushions. No idea if that is the standard at all, but it works for my cushions, so that is what I do. When my heat press is ready to go and it's all heated up, I always put this under for 10 to 15 seconds just to get rid of any moisture in there. So that is now in my heat press, and then when it beeps, I will take it out and have a look. 10 seconds left, so let's put this here, and I will show you what it looks like. Hopefully it looks nice. Again, I put my butcher paper on the top and I taped it down, and this is what it looks like. With the cushions, I always put them towards the top half of the cushion because when they are on a sofa or on a bed, they sort of wrap down a little bit and it hides the bottom of the design, so I always make them a little bit higher. And that is what the cushion looks like. Now to do the card. So for this, what I do is I print my card on photo paper and then I mount it onto my card because I like it to be nice and shiny and really good quality, and I like the card to be nice and thick. And to make sure that it is perfectly accurate to the 5x7, I cut out the photo print on my Cricut. Right, this is all printed now, and then I'm going to put it in my Cricut. That is all printed and it is cut out and it fits perfectly onto that card, which I then fold and I stick this on with spray mount. And that is the card all done. And this is how I send them out. Crisp white envelope in the plastic with my little Giftling sticker.